Child abuse is anything that causes harm to a child. It has many classifications, including neglect, physical abuse, sexual abuse, and emotional abuse. Neglect is the most prevalent form of abuse among children and is described as not satisfying a child's needs. Nationally, 78.3% of child victims experience neglect, including medical neglect. 7.8% were physically abused, 7.6% were sexually abused, and 7.6% were emotionally or psychologically maltreated. The federal government's response to this social problem resulted in the passing of CAPTA in 1974 and its reauthorization in 2010. Specifically, children 18 years old and under are the target population this legislation aims to protect. CAPTA aims to fund state and local organizations to prevent child abuse. The State of Alabama organization is the Department of Human Resources.
Do you see the Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act being put into action?
Yes, that's basically where DHR is getting its funding. And so DHR is getting funding there. And there are also lots of programs that are funded through this. There's a drug court program for parents who are involved in a DHR case that it's a very rigorous program where the parents go to treatment in groups and meet with the judge in an effort to get their kids back sooner than they would just going through the normal family court process. And there's individual counseling programs, family counseling, group counseling, anger management classes, domestic violence classes. So there are a lot of different programs that are being used through family court to try and make sure when the kids do get put back in the home, they don't get taken away again.
Right. Okay. Did you see any weaknesses of the funding of CAPTA?
In DHR and in family court, there's always going to be a weakness in funding because there are so many kids and so many issues, and there's always going to be something that could use more money.
Right.
And the family court docket is huge. There are so many families on there that are involved in it, and the court's dockets are backlogged. It takes forever to get a hearing. And the social workers just have these enormous caseloads because there are too many cases and not enough social workers.
What populations did you generally work with, and specifically age groups or communities around Birmingham, race-specific?
In Birmingham, you see a lot of different populations. You are mostly seeing children between the age of 0 and 18 because once the child is 18, then abuse and neglect is not a problem that will be handled in family court.
This national policy is in place to strengthen families and to prevent child abuse and neglect, provide the support that may be needed to prevent the unnecessary removal of children from families, and promote the reunification of families if removal has taken place. Being comprehensive, child-centered, family-focused, and community-based are all critical to the child protection system. They should incorporate all appropriate measures to prevent the occurrence or reoccurrence of child abuse and neglect, and should promote physical and psychological well-being and social reintegration in an environment that fosters the health, safety, self-respect, and dignity of the child.